Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the presentation of conduct-based classes for the subject Teaching and Mentoring Assessment B. My name is Mr. Teddy Shikuguma. In a few minutes, I will be presenting to you some of the important issues or some important aspects that you need to take into consideration when it comes to your preparation for examination. It does not necessarily mean that what I'm going to present to you is copy and pasting of what will be in the examination, but I'm simply guiding you just for you to have a picture of how to approach certain questions or certain aspects. But as a teacher to be, or a teacher already, you need to be ready and anytime, and you should cover the whole book or the modules that are prescribed to you, just to make sure that you are ready, and then you prepare yourself for an examination or maybe to deal with assignments, and most importantly is for the general understanding of the whole subject, so that you'll be able to deliver when you go back to the classroom. So first of all, I would like us to have a look at the action verbs. These action verbs that I'm presenting to you are not taken from anywhere, if not from at the beginning of your modules. So I just want us to go through together, just for you to see if the question comes with this verb or this action verb, what is that expected from me as a student, so that we'll be able to satisfy the examiner. If you look at the word analyze, what does it mean? What is required from you? What is that you need to do? You need to examine information in detail. So that's what it means by analyze. Calculate. If the question comes with the action verb calculate, then you need to give a numerical answer from given figures. Comment. What is that you are going to do if you are required to comment? Simply, you are discussing briefly by giving positive and negative points. So that's what we mean by saying comment. Compare. You draw a conclusion about similarities as well as differences. Contrast. Look only for similarities. That's basically what you are required to do. Criticize. You give a reasonable judgment after weighing facts carefully. So you have to weigh the facts carefully, and then we'll be able to give reasonable judgment. Not just judgment, but it must be reasonable. Deduce. Use the information provided in order for you to reach to the conclusion. And then define. You give precise, brief meaning as well as features. And then we come to the other word, demonstrate. What are you doing? Show by examples. Describe. What is required from you is to provide detailed features for and against. Determine. Use provided information in order to work out the answers or the answer. The other very, very important aspect or very, very important action verb is distinguish. So you should be able to describe two phenomena, and then you have to clearly give differences of these two phenomena, because the question requires you to distinguish. Estimate. Give the impact of something. Evaluate. Determine the value of something as per set criteria. Explain. You must be able to describe by indicating relationships between things. Find. Calculate, measure, and determine. Identify, recognize and name. Illustrate, describe with examples, very important. Interpret, you must be able to describe something, explain the meaning of graphical information. Examine, to identify detailed features of something. List, present a list of facts, names, objects, etc. Outline, you must be able to give an overview and indicate the main features. Summarize, focus on main ideas without examples, because you are driving to the conclusion. You are just summarizing, but you do not need to give examples. Okay, now to go in with the presentation, before I go with the presentation, maybe I would just like to emphasize that the words that I presented to you are action verbs, and you should remind yourself from time to time about this. Okay, now with the presentation, describe the elements of a school culture. What are the elements? If you're talking about school culture, first of all, you must understand what a school culture is. So then you must give the description of the elements of a school culture. Discuss the functions of the principal in creating a coaching and mentoring culture in the school. You know, a principal has a very huge responsibility or activity to carry out. So what are the functions? This is something that you must be able to discuss, the functions of the principal in creating a coaching or mentoring culture in the school. It must be him that should guide, that should create that conducive environment for this mentoring and coaching to take place at school. So you must be able to discuss this. As a teacher to be, or as a teacher, or maybe a principal to be, a head of department to be, and somebody that's aiming high, you must also be able to discuss the components of an induction program of novice teachers. You know, I remember when I was appointed as the head of department at one of the high schools in Namibia, I was just given an office and then I was told, go and do the work. It was very, very, very difficult because I was not inducted. So induction is a very, very important aspect in an education setup, because if you are not inducted, you might end up, learning the hard way, because you are not inducted, you are not guided, you are not given the information on how to go about whatever activity that you are about to take. So you must be able now to discuss the components of an induction program of a novice teacher. What are those components? Discuss them. You must also be able to explain, how a school auditing system, creating a framework for a coaching culture. We are talking about auditing system at school. What is that? What do we mean? And creating a framework of a coaching culture at a school. Please go back to your books and then you read about this in the modules. You must also be able to describe performance management. What is that? Get to the bottom of this. Get a wider understanding of what does that mean. Performance management in a school setup. You must also be able to explain how mentors could deal with performance management. Because, a mentor is somebody that directs, that helps, that, provide guidelines or guidance for you to reach your potential as a teacher. Now, you must be able to explain how mentors could deal with performance management, because this is also part and parcel of what is required from you as somebody that's being coached, as somebody that's being mentored. Discuss the importance of performance management. I think I have spoken about that. Explain the benefits of parent mentoring, because sometimes we need this parent mentoring. What benefits does that parent mentoring bring to an education setup or in a school environment? Discuss why mentoring reduces teacher attrition. This is very, very critical, because if somebody is well mentored, then of course attrition will not be encountered. So why mentoring reduces then teacher attrition? You must be able to discuss that. You must also be able to discuss the research findings regarding implementation and the impact of mentoring in Australia. So there are different countries. I've specifically taken Australia as an example, but you must also be able to discuss the research findings regarding the implementation and the impact of mentoring in any other countries. But in this moment, we are talking about Australia. Just for you to get a picture, because there are different research findings regarding the implementation and the impact of mentoring. Because the integral part here, it's on mentoring? Has it worked in many countries? Will it be able to work in your own country by evaluating what other findings are saying about this? Discuss mentoring strategies that can be used to assist teachers in teaching. Mentoring strategies that can be used in order to assist teachers in teaching. What are those mentoring strategies that can be employed? Discuss about them. You must also be able to discuss the goals of an induction program. What does it aim to do? What are the goals? What are the forecast ending of having it in schools? You must also be able to outline the key areas of auditing. What are those key areas of auditing? As a teacher to be, you must also be able to discuss the value of providing teachers with performance assessment tools. The value of providing teachers with performance assessment tools. You must also be able to synthesize the research findings on the mentoring and implementation issues and impact of mentoring of different countries, as I have said. Now is synthesizing. Ladies and gentlemen, with those slides that I have given to you, I would like us to reach to the conclusion that you must prepare thoroughly for examination. Don't just confine yourself to the information that I have just presented to you, but you must be able to revise all the units. And once more, very, very important, go back to the verbs. Those action verbs, they are the key. They are the key that are unlocking many doors, because once you understand each and every action verb, you are not going to struggle with any question, because you know what each verb is directing you to do. And please, in an assignment or in an examination, you must be able to answer all the questions. Don't leave any question unattended. You must utilize the experience that you have acquired so far as a teacher. If you are not a teacher yet, then you must have acquired information through studying, through doing different research. So please utilize that in order to deal with the questions. Do not leave any question unattended. That's a warning. Each question deserves your attention, so try to answer. As I said at the beginning, don't confine yourself to the study guides that are given to you. Life is all about exploring. So explore different sources, internet and so forth. And in this way, your knowledge and skills will be expanded to greater heights. And you plow back in the classroom. My mobiles, you can contact me at 0811480977 or 0812531801. Please take note of the best time for you to consult me. You can only contact me between 8 and 5. 8 in the morning and 5 in the afternoon, between there. And please, you can only do this on weekdays, not over weekends. My email address is t_shigukuma@yahoo.co.uk. I wish you all the best.